We've come out fossil hunting today to revisit a few landslides which were actually investigated a few months ago. Now the tide has washed through them and we're ready to search them all over again.
Nice!
Let's get to the hunt. We've just walked along the slate beds now and we're going to search through all of these stones that have been revealed by the tide. Let's see what we can find. Lots of the pebbles that we're searching through at the moment haven't been revealed for quite some time. So it's going to be really interesting to see what's managed to hide its way in amongst the stones.
Shay's having a look just ahead of me and I'm also having a really good look around all of these fresh pebbles to see what there is to be found. Just found there a very calcified, sea-eroded ammonite specimen. Hopefully the rest of the fossils we find today are much better preserved and much less eroded than this one. I'll leave that there for someone else to find.
I found one over here, Aaron.
Let's go and have a look what he's found.
It looks like there's potentially a couple of fossils just in this small area. Do you want to see if you can find it?
Absolutely, I'll take a look. Well, I can see two, which I think are probably the ones you've spotted. They look really nice. I'll give everyone at home just a moment to see if they can spot it too. I'll get a little bit closer. Do you want to show us where they are?
So the most obvious one was this pebble just here. You can quite clearly see the edge of the ammonite protruding the stone. Looks like it's been in the sea for probably a few months and part of the shell was worn away. But deeper within the limestone, there should be a perfect ammonite fossil. And the one that was a little bit harder to spot was actually just here.
I didn't see that one actually. I spotted this one here.
Yeah, so there's a really eroded one here, which has been very calcified. So presumably as someone's tried to split this specimen, because there's been so much calcite crystal inside, it just hasn't split very well at all. That's just the way it goes sometimes. They can't all split perfectly. But the other nodule that we spotted was this one just here. I couldn't actually see anything around the edge, but just from the colour and the shape, looked like it would contain something. And it does.
Oh.
Look at that. Looks to be a perfect Tenucostatum ammonite, just on the edge of that rock. Two finds in just a few minutes of hunting. Just goes to show that if you come in the right conditions, there can be plenty of fossils to find on the beaches. Let's keep hold of these ones and keep on searching.
I've seen something just down here under this pebble. I'm not sure if that's another ammonite right there.
Oh, wow.
Oh, nice. Oh!
Look how golden that is. Good job, Aaron.
Thank you. That's so pyrotised. That was literally just under that little bit of shale where we've just found those other fossils. It's got three already. Look at those.
Certainly a good start to the hunt. Let's hope there's plenty more just like these.
Just as we've stood up to walk further along the beach, I've spotted another fossil right down here. It was wedged under this huge lump of sandstone. I've pulled it out and it doesn't look like anything at first. However, if we turn it over,
Oh yeah, look at that.
there is a partial Phyloceras ammonite, which would have been absolutely huge if it was complete. Look at all the fine ribbing on this one. Seems like we're already off to such a brilliant start.
Yeah.
I'll leave that there for someone else to find.
There are so many rocks to choose from that we're just being selective with the stones that we're actually looking at. A lot of the stones that are the sandstone or the ironstone will be completely empty. So we're mainly just looking in the limestone nodules to see if there's anything protruding the edge of the rock. Oh, I can spot another. In fact, there's two ammonites again around here. One of them is a really nicely sized nodule, and then there's another one which I can see with an ammonite actually around the edge of the rock. Can you see them, Aaron?
I can indeed. They're both in shot now, so try and see if you can spot them too.
So the more obvious nodule is this one just down here. And again, you can see the edge of what looks to be a Dactylioceras ammonite. So hopefully when we split this one open, the centre, because it's been protected by the limestone, will be fully intact. And then as well as that one, there is this nodule here. Again, it looks to be a Tenucostatum nodule, just from the colour, slightly lighter than the other Dactylioceras nodules. And oh wow, Aaron, look at that. There's an absolute beauty in there.
That is surreal. We're going to have such a good time opening these up later.
Awesome.
Now that we've investigated a lot of the pebbles in this part of the beach, we're going to make our way further up to a landslide which we investigated a few months ago, and the sea has washed through it and potentially lots of fossils are there to be found. Let's go and have a look and see.
I've got another ammonite find over here, Aaron. So I was just checking where there's only a few stones, and mixed in amongst them, there is this one here.
Oh, sweet.
Look at that. Again, there looks to be a perfect ammonite inside. Doing really well already, aren't we?
This is surreal. Oh, look down there.
Oh, we haven't found one of those yet either, have we?
What we've just found is a big squid fossil called a belemnite.
Well, that's cool. It's a really nice size, that one too, isn't it, Aaron?
It is, and it looks pretty intact. Barely any erosion whatsoever. This is the belemnite guard. Underneath that shale, there'd be a perfect tip of the belemnite that'd be very pointy. And as you can see, there's lots of natural fractures already in these fossils. Pretty much always need gluing back together whenever you find them. This is a particularly nice example.
Yeah, shall I get the tools out of my bag? Should we expose a little bit more?
Yeah, let's expose a little bit more of it.
Right. As always, I'll get my safety glasses first.
We're going to carefully just remove a bit of this shale. We're not going to take the fossil completely out of the shale because, as we said, there's lots of fractures. But once we've exposed it, we can take a better look and we'll be able to leave it here for some other people to see as they come along the beach too.
Just tapping really gently with the hammer there, just to let the natural vibrations lift the shale from the specimen. Doesn't take much effort at all to remove the shale from these. Usually peels away very nicely.
It's always exciting to see how intact the fossil's going to be, particularly that tip of the belemnite. Should be nice and sharp. Quite a lot of iron pyrite that we're coming across now.
That looks to be the very tip there, doesn't it, Aaron?
It does. Looks superb. Really good size as well.
Yeah. We already have a few specimens slightly larger than this in our collection, so this is one that we'll leave for someone else to find. But it's certainly a very nice one. I think most people would absolutely love to find one this size.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
I've just walked along and also found another ammonite within the shingle. It really is unbelievable just how many we're finding today in just a matter of 10-15 minutes of looking. If you have a look here, you'll be able to see two different ammonite fossils. One is extremely eroded and one looks to be exactly the opposite, completely intact. If we have a look closer, we can see the eroded ammonite is right here. Pretty much nothing left of this one. Further down, we've got the complete specimen right there. Oh, and it looks another beauty. Look at that golden outer edge. We found a fair few ammonites now. I think it's time we make a little pile of them on one of these sandstone boulders. I'll pass this nodule to you here.
Thank you.
And then we'll go and place them on one of these boulders. think the boulder over here should be pretty good.
Yeah, this one looks good, it's nice and flat.
Perfect.
I've got so many nice finds. I can't wait to split some of them open.
I'm very excited. As we mentioned before, we are now going to have a look through this bit of a landslide just behind us.
We're just having another look now in amongst all of the beach shingle and pebbles. You never know what's washed down from the landslides and mixed itself in amongst all of these stones.
Just found a pretty big fossilised shell there. That was a pretty unexpected find. We'll leave this one here for someone else to find.
Oh, there's quite a big nodule over here, Aaron.
Oh yeah.
You see lots of calcite on the edge. Looks like it might be a big ammonite, doesn't it? I know that often in these big nodules, the fossils inside, if they're heavily calcified like this, they're not very well preserved, but it's going to be interesting to see, isn't it?
This has some serious potential.
Do you want to go get the big hammer and we'll try and reveal it?
Just going to collect the tools, ready to excavate this potentially incredible find. This hammer?
The bigger one.
Okay. There we have our bigger hammer, and we need a suitably bigger chisel. There we go. I think these should do the trick.
They're the ones. Thank you. Perfect. All right.
Let's find out if it truly is a remarkable find.
I think we should try this calcite vein here first and see if we can promote a split. Oh, you can see a part of the fossil that's been revealed, Aaron. There's lots of oils. That's part of the phylloceras that's exposed there.
It's incredibly crushed. However, we could potentially have a 3D aspect of the fossil further within. A little bit more rock has come away. It's absolutely filled with calcite and difficult to open.
Yeah, it looks like this is the centre, but again, looks like it's being completely crushed. You can actually see where the ammonite itself has warped. Oh well, not to worry. It's as to be expected with the nodules like these, but it was worth checking on the off chance, wasn't it?
It was. Unfortunately, it was totally warped, as we've just found out, but it still was worth investigating just in case. Now let's have a look at the landslide just behind us.
Let's do it.
Hidden beneath this shale is the find of a lifetime. Believe it or not, these jaws are from an ichthyosaur, which is an extinct marine reptile. It lived in the ocean 180 million years ago, and these jaws are absolutely packed with fossilised teeth that are still sharp even to this day. We are doing something we don't normally do with fossils, and we have taken the decision to remove the jaws completely from the matrix. Thankfully, this fossil had no erosion whatsoever when we found it. It was freshly revealed. Removing much of that shale, we can start to gently loosen the fossil from the sediment. The jaws themselves will take much more preparation work, but for now, here's a little look at the progress we have made so far on this remarkable find. We have already exposed many of the teeth, most of which are still sharp and perfectly intact. The bone quality is also absolutely excellent. However, as you can see, there is much more preparation work still to be done. This truly is an unbelievably rare find.
Just working my way up now to go and have a look. If you remember, when we searched here a few months ago, This landslide was absolutely enormous. It was so fresh on the beach as well. It'd come down pretty much the same day when we first found this landslide. Now, the remnants of it remain, but a few fossils have been turning up. So the chance of us finding a few right now is actually quite high.
It's worth noting that we never get too close to the cliff. We're just going to check this borderline, which is where the fossils should be. The cliffs here are so unstable, especially after the really dry weather that we've had. There's lots of cracks.
Found a small fossil here, a little bit eroded. It's probably been on the beach for quite some time, this one, but it's a different species to what we've found so far. Pseudolioceras.
You can see where the tide line has been from the previous tide, because all this kelp is collected. So we know to be searching in this area and not any closer to the cliff. So we're not going to be too close because of course it's very dangerous.
I've already found something pretty cool. I can actually see 4 fossils in shot right now. We might not be able to get them all in shot because they're slightly spread apart, so I'll show you them one by one. The first nodule is right here. We've not just found nodules, there is something else I've just spotted too. Can't see anything within this one, but we'll crack it open shortly and find out. Right here, there is one nodule which is freshly rolled out by the looks of things and landed in a little depression of the shale.
I think there's definitely one in that.
They don't come any fresher than this. We've already got 2, and I said there was 4, so there's 2 more to have a look at. And let's see if at home you can spot the 2 fossils in shot. It's probably quite an easy one. Get a little bit closer. The next one is another nodule, which is what we've got right here. Might have been out a little bit of time. It had some seaweed on top of it. Another fresh, slightly crusty ammonite. And if you look here, this is being completely matrix free. But we have another partial Phyloceras, like what we found earlier.
Oh, it's such a shame that it's not all there. That would have been a real beauty, wouldn't it?
This would have been the find of the day for sure if this had been complete. It's one of the most sought after ammonites. We always dream of finding a nice big 3-dimensional example. But again, this is just a partial, which we're still happy to find. And we'll be even more happy knowing we can leave it here for someone else to see as they come along.
I actually spotted another one while you were searching through those ones. There's another fresh example just down here.
Oh, yes. This one does look very, very flattened. Most of the ammonite is crushed and distorted.
Yeah, it doesn't look like a splittable one.
We'll put that with the Phyloceras partial and it'll be something for someone else to find. I'll also move them a little bit further away from this bit of the fall so they're more accessible and safer to reach. There we go. Shay's going to have a look now and see what he can find.
It's always exciting searching through the freshly revealed shale because you know that no one has even looked through any of this, so we're the first people to be here. Oh, there's an ammonite just down here. I almost walked past it. You can actually see in this bit of shale here there has been a nodule and it's already washed out, so it could be potentially in this slide or it's further out under the sand.
Could even be that one.
It could even be this one, yeah. You know for a fact there's an ammonite in here because you can see the edge of it already protruding the stone. And again, just up ahead, there's another one. That's a very unusually shaped rock. It's not as round as some of the other ones that have ammonites inside, but again, I can actually see an ammonite in there. Oh, there's one that's not a fresh ammonite, but just down here, there's a really eroded example. Just goes to show, actually, if you compare the two, at one point, this nodule's probably been similar size to this one, but just over being in the beach system for such a long period of time, it's eroded down into this very sea-worn nodule. It's so nice being able to collect these fossils and preserve them for everyone to be able to come and see. Oh, look at the size of that nodule! That's huge! Wow!
That's enormous! Bet you daren't pick it up.
I know. Oh my gosh. I wonder how big the fossil is going to be that's hidden inside of here, if anything at all. Of course it could be completely empty, but You know, nodules that are this size usually contain ammonites such as Hildocerus ammonites, or potentially something even rarer. Whoa. Can't wait to break this one open.
We're going to go and place these nodules on our ammonite pile and then look around the rest of this fall, because I can already see a couple more, and then we're going to move to another landslide to look through. This is seriously awesome.
I'll go take these over to the bag and I'll join you in a second.
While Shay is going to put our fossils by the boulder, I'm just going to have a little look here. Now in shot, there are 2 nodules, again fresh, which are currently in shot for you to have a look at. I'll give you a moment, see if you can spot them. In fact, unbelievably, I've just noticed there are 3 fossils in shot. It's pretty strange the way they've ended up this way on the beach, but we have 1 nodule here, 1 there, and another one right there. Again, definitely contains a Jurassic fossil.
Oh wow, look at that one. Nice find, Aaron.
We just found a couple more as well. In the same shot, there was 3 fossils. I could see 1, then another, then another. Again, this has probably been down for a few days, given the seaweed that's attached to it. Another rock for us to open up. And the 3rd specimen is right here. Loads and loads of huge lumps of limestone. Can't see anything obvious up this part of the beach. Seems like we've probably come across the last obvious fossil here, and that's in shot now. Can you see where it is? It's right here. I'm presuming this is the last obvious fossil in this part of this fall. We've definitely had a good look around and found our fair share at least of all these fossils. Of course, when we open some of them up, we'll be leaving many of them on the beach for other people to find as they come along. We'll only take some of the best examples and leave quite a few others. We'll go add these to our pile.
Well, I'm really excited to split some of these.
Get a look at that.
I mean, it's certainly a good haul, isn't it? It's not very often we come to the beach and find this many fossils.
Really is a rarity to get this many. We're next going to head to this part of the beach here, have a look amongst the shale, followed by a little remnant of a landfall just here, and then I think it'll be time to start opening them up.
I can't wait.
Here we have a freshly discovered section of articulated plesiosaur vertebrae. As you can see, the fossil was found in many, many pieces, and we have all of these fragments to restore onto this section of spine. There is going to be a lot of preparation work involved, and the whole process is going to take many, many hours, potentially 10, 20, 30 or even more hours. First things first, we need to identify where the bones go, and then we can place them to one side. Our dad has already identified where the majority of these bones will attach, so next up we need to stabilise the fossil itself. The fossil is preserved in soft shale, and in order for this fossil to stand the test of time, we need to remove some of the shale and stabilise the reverse side of the fossil. So first things first, our dad is using air pneumatic pens to remove this shale. As we prep deeper and deeper, many cracks appear, and we stabilise these as we go with our glue. Thankfully, we can speed up the process of letting the glue set. There is some more pen work to do on the back of this slab. However, as soon as enough shale is removed and it is flat enough, we're going to be able to move on to the next part of this process. In this video, we're looking at the first step in the preparation journey of this piece. A couple of larger pieces of shale came away there, and that's just because when the fossil has been found, it has had some erosion and it is quite unstable. So we're being as gentle as we can, whilst also trying to get the job done. We've got the shale as flat as we need now, so we can progress onto the next part of the preparation process for this piece. Let's take a look at what's next. Now that it's flat enough, we can begin to stabilise the reverse side of the fossil. We mark off a couple of boundaries for where we are about to put our resin so that it doesn't run off and end up on the side of the shale where the fossil itself actually is. Here we have our resin. We have more than enough still in stock for this piece. We also have a couple of other similar fossils to this that we are working on, so we have done this process quite a lot lately. We can now mix these together, and then we will be able to begin spreading it across the back of the fossil. It's very satisfying knowing that after this step we can actually begin piecing the bones back together and starting to remove shale from the fossil itself. It's going to be one heck of a piece. We can now apply our mesh, followed by some more resin, and then we will let it harden over many hours. We hope you've enjoyed seeing the first step in preparing some articulated plesiosaur bones. We will have some follow-up videos coming shortly to show you the entire result and what unfolds in the upcoming preparation of this piece.
We're having a look now through this part of the fall. Again, when we last came here, all of this was really sort of covered in mud and all sorts of things, and the tide has come in and washed it all nice and clean. So if there's anything here, we should see it. I've spotted a few little flat nodules already, pretty much guaranteed to be nothing inside those, so they're not even worth looking any further into. A couple of belemnites here and there, one just down there for example. Even if there was something straight ahead of us in this part of the fall, it's way too dangerous to get near to actually collect anything there. So there's not even any point looking, because even if we saw a fossil there, we wouldn't be going close to pick it up.
There's been another belemnite in the shale just here. Looks like it's probably a similar size to the one that we already exposed earlier in the video. Leave that one there for someone else to expose.
Now, there is a piece of limestone here which potentially might contain something. Just going to have a bit of a closer look. Now, you're not going to believe this. I can actually see some of this structure looks like a reptile bone. I'm pretty sure this might be the find of the day, if it is indeed reptile bones. We haven't found bones in a long, long time. And here we go.
Whoa.
Oh, nice.
Look at all those.
It is what we thought it was. I'm not entirely sure what all of the bones are. However, we can see multiple partial ribs. We've got ribs all across here. And there are two other bigger bones, which I'm not sure what they are. Now, I'm presuming these are fossil ribs. I could be wrong. I mean, this bone here comes from there all the way back. So I'm wondering if this could be a humerus or a femur from an ichthyosaur paddle. Very possible. This bone here is also quite substantial. And this piece looks a little bit bigger than what I'd expect for a rib. So we've got all sorts of different bones in here. I think that some of them probably are ribs, but there's also some much more exciting features within this block. As we come down here, many more tides and weeks into the future, we're going to have to keep constantly checking, because if there's more blocks of this laid around, there could be other pieces which all fit together to form more of this skeleton. I'm so pleased with this find.
Nice find. It's what we come here for, isn't it?
It's always nice when we find some reptile bones on one of our fossil hunts. Quite often we find ammonites and belemnites and other interesting things, but finding bones is something just that bit extra special. We've had a good look here and we haven't spotted anything else. I think this is pretty much all we could ever have dreamed of finding today. We do have a little bit more shale to check out just further ahead, and then we'll start opening those nodules which we've been finding throughout the video so far. I've just been back to our fossil bag to put the finds we've just got with the rest of our ammonites. Shay is on his way back to me now with a big smile on his face. Let's see what he's found. Did you find anything?
I found one thing, but it looks like it's going to be something pretty spectacular. It's a big nodule, and you can see the ammonite just protruding the edge there.
That's massive.
Huge, isn't it?
Do you reckon it's all going to be in there?
Well, I really hope so. It's quite flat, but I think if we get a good split right on the surface, could be a pretty nice one. It's all that was in that fall. Didn't see anything else at all, just this.
Looks really pyrotised.
Looks like it's probably going to be an elegantisserious ammonite, but we'll know for certain when we split it open.
All the finds we've got today, we couldn't be any more happy. And now it's one of our favourite parts, which is opening up many of the rocks, including this one and the other monster-sized nodule that we found earlier. Let's get back to the bag and open them.
Let's do it. Safe to say we've done absolutely incredible today. We've found so many amazing fossils. Of course, often when we're out on the beach, we won't find as many fossils as what we have here. Just goes to show that putting in the extra time and coming as regularly and as often as we do, you have the chance of finding all of these. Often we'll come home from the beach empty-handed as we leave lots of the incomplete specimens for others to find. But today we have so many fresh examples. It's going to be really exciting to open some of them up and see what they look like on the inside. Some of the fossils that look well preserved now might not have centres or might have bits of predation where the fossils won't be complete, whereas others, where they look completely eroded, might get a nice surprise when we break into some of them. So let's get to it.
Very excited to open these up. Here we go. Got our selection of tools. Presuming we'll start off with the smaller hammer and open a couple of the smaller nodules to begin with, and then we'll progress to these much bigger, chunkier limestone rocks. Of course, we're not going to be opening the bone nodule. We'll prepare that at home with the finer tools.
First thing I'm going to do is pick out some of the nodules that we're definitely going to split open. Of course, some of them we'll take home and prepare. This one, for example, looks like it's going to open up really well, so it's one that will open on the beach. Of course, these bigger stones will open on the beach as well because there's quite some weight in them. And lots of these smaller examples we'll be able to take home and prepare. So I think out of all of these, it's probably going to be a good idea to split this pile, and then these smaller examples that are a little bit worn, we'll take home and preserve. Now let's get to the exciting part and break a few of them open. Which one should we start with? Well, I mean, I know for a fact this one's going to open well, so maybe we should start with this one. What do you reckon?
Let's start with that one.
Okay. And this one, because it's had a chance to dry out, there's already a small crack that has formed. So I don't even think we're going to need the chisel for this one. I'll just give it a few gentle taps. Or just one tap. It's opened really easy, this one. I wish they all opened as easy as this. think this is going to be a beauty. Oh, look at that.
That's what it's all about.
Wow.
It's hard to believe something like this was just laid on the beach, waiting
Yeah.
for us to come and find.
It's not very often we find specimens this intact and this large. It's such an amazing example. Well, let's hope they all split like that. Right, I think now we should do one where we don't know if there's a fossil in it or not. It's got good potential.
I'm going to guess that this does contain something.
Okay. Oop. And there was a fossil inside, but unlike the other one that we just split open, you can see that this one has been very poorly preserved and very calcified. Now this one, I think we'll be able to do with a hammer and chisel. So would you be able to hold this while I chisel it, do you think, Aaron?
I will hold it.
I'm just going to do some gentle taps first, and that's just going to make a little groove, and it means that the chisel will stay in place a little bit better. Now that I've made that groove, I'm going to try and split it.
There we go.
There we are. What do you reckon? I think it's going to be a perler. I think it's going to be a really nice one.
I think it's going to be awesome.
And it is. Hey. Just goes to show how different the ammonites can be. The second one we opened didn't split well at all, whereas this one is perfect. Another one for the keep pile. I'm sure you'd agree.
Absolutely.
It looks like it's a Dactylioceras commune, this one. So although they look very similar, it's a completely different ammonite.
Wasn't expecting it to open that nice, I must say.
And so easily as well.
Yeah.
I think this one will chisel again. Should we try and chisel this one?
I'll hold it. Oh,
There we are.
we have another split.
Looks like it's going to be another perfect one. I think we're in luck.
Pretty nice. It's not quite as well defined as the previous. Now let's open one of these bigger nodules. And I think we should open them in the order we found them, which means we'll open this one.
And because we don't know whether there's a fossil inside or not, we're going to use just the hammer. Of course, if we use the chisel, we don't actually know where the fossil's going to be in the rock, or if the fossil is even inside. So this is the best bet. Might take quite a few hits. Got a break from this side, and it's revealed a whole lot of nothing.
Oh no.
Let's keep on trying. Got another crack. It looks to be like there's going to be a ammonite inside. Looks like it's some sort of,
Another one there as well.
potentially a cataclossaurus or something. It looks like it's quite a chunky ammonite. It looks like there's another little one next to it as well. That was unexpected.
Especially the angle it broke open at.
Yeah, for such a large nodule to contain just these two smaller ammonites.
Let's open a couple more of the fresh crusty nodules, followed by this enormous beast.
I think I'll use the chisel end of the hammer for this one. There we are. Oh,
Oh, very nice.
looks to be a very nicely preserved and complete Dactylioceras ammonite in there. Tiny little bit of limestone still covering the centre, but with the tools at home, we'll have that off in no time. Definitely another one for the keep pile.
Oh.
Empty. A little bit of an ammonite just starting to show. Let's try another one. There we are, we've got a split.
Here we go.
Oh,
Yes.
oh, it's another perler. It's a real beauty, that one.
It's outstanding. Brilliant.
Another one for the keep pile.
We truly have an awesome pile of fossils here that we're going to be taking home.
Got a couple more here to split. Empty. Last but not least, or should I say last but not least before the big one?
Yeah, second to last.
Oh.
Oh!
Whoa, look at that. It's a tiny hairline fracture, so I'm just keeping the ammonite held together.
Oh,
That goes to show why you don't go too close to the cliff.
absolutely. That is why you never get too close. Beautiful pyrite and sutures.
It's a stunning example, this one.
Quick bit of restoration in the workshop and you won't even be able to tell there's been a slight little fracture there. We're now going to tape up the ammonites that we've opened so far, just to make sure they don't get any damage whilst they're carried back up in our rucksacks. And then, one of the highlights of today, we're going to actually get to open this nodule. We're really nervous, but really excited to see how this goes.
Taping the nodules back together ensures that the actual ammonite fossils themselves don't rub against one another, and the impressions just keep them protected while we carry them up.
Just going to bury some of these shards that we generated whilst opening some of those nodules.
It's hard to stop looking for fossils as I'm walking along the beach. Lots of suspicious looking rocks. Of course, there's only so many you can find each day without your bag getting too heavy.
We're just going to wash the nodule off now.
See all that lovely pyrite, can't you? Let's hope it is as good as we hope it's going to be.
Time for the moment of truth. Let's crack it open.
Oh,
That's a good start.
yeah.
The ammonite is definitely fully preserved and extends through the limestone. Question is, should we leave it as is and prepare it in the workshop? Because it does have a bit of a crack running through
To
there.
be honest, I think if we try and split this bit off, it might even just split through the mouth border of the ammonite and just ruin the entire thing. So now that we know the entire ammonite is actually in the rock, it's going to be worth taking just like this. What do you reckon?
Yeah,
It's one for the workshop.
I think we'll take this one as is. It would be really fun right now to try and split it. However, we have to think about what's best for the fossil, which is to manually prepare it in the workshop.
Awesome, really pleased with that.
Absolutely.
It's a stunner.
That's the end of our fossil hunt now. We've had an absolutely brilliant day with all of our finds, especially the find at the end and that bone that we found. Thanks for watching.
And we'll see you in the next one.